who else can help us with this. Coach,
Hey, what's up, buddy?
how are you?
Good, good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good, man. Just wanted to get your thoughts on obviously what I text you. You said that timing can be worked on in the gym.
Yes.
So can you give us a little more on that, on how exactly? Because I thought, obviously fight week, I feel like all trainers bring their fighters down in glove size. You start doing more pad work than sparring to get that accuracy and quote unquote timing. Um, but if you have no fight, like how you never go down to the size 8s or 10s?
That is correct. That's 100% correct what you just said. What happened is this, because like I text you, because he's a veteran and he's been in the game for so long. It's a lot of things that it's like. Let's say you and I, right? In one time in our life, we were a child, and we would drive a bike naturally, like an adult won't be able to. But then we stop through the years because we get old and we get busy, and we stop driving bikes. But you can get back in a bike and it just comes back naturally because we have that experience. Same thing for Crawford. Crawford's a veteran. He's an incredible fighter, very smart fighter, a high IQ. So he's not going to lose much of his timing because it's something that he has already, that he knows how to work with himself. Some fighters could do that. Some fighters are not allowed to because they don't have that kind of IQ. Crawford can do that. Um, but you work on small things. A lot of noodles, a lot of bends. I mean, but it's more into the noodles for me when it comes to timing. With bigger glove because your reaction time gets a lot faster when you go from 16-ounce glove, 18, whatever he uses, to 10-ounce glove, which will be for this fight, right? So your timing helps a lot. And what I do myself personally with all of my guys, I do a lot of noodles. With an example, I have a fighter that fight Saturday. I got this young prospect, by the name of John Marcos. He fights Saturday. All I do this week is just noodles to work on reaction, work on defense, work on timing. But I use smaller glove because it's my last week. I use 8-ounce glove. For the last week, he's not hitting. No heavy back. I'm not using no strength. Everything is just light work because we couldn't wait. So we maintain with speed and timing, and that's what we do. So when it comes to Crawford, he's able to do a lot of different things that a lot of fighters cannot do because of who he is himself as a fighter.
So who you picking in this fight? And
Well,
I guess what's your breakdown? A lot of people are kind of split. This is a tighter fight than people thought, even with Crawford moving up 2 divisions, or some even say 3 divisions, because that was only a pit stop.
it's a really, really, really good fight. It's gonna be a fight for me that is 50-50. Um, if Canelo's not able to hurt him, listen, Crawford's a really good defensive fighter. Go to his last fight when he fought. Well, prior to last fight, not making the comparison of Spence to Canelo, not even attempting, but still yet. Just look at his defense. Look at his little footwork. He doesn't have to have footwork where he's running around, on a regular basis. Like let's say Shakur. I mean, they move a lot with. He depends a lot on his footwork. Crawford depends on his footwork, but being on his range and the fact that he has a 74-inch reach, gives him the advantage of being able to do these things. Could he hurt Cotto? Excuse me, I apologize. Can he hurt Canelo? I don't think he could hurt Canelo. Canelo's been getting hit by bigger guys that they walk in. Bivol walked in the gym. I guarantee you, 200 pounds, 195, 200 pounds, and he couldn't hurt him. Um, but I do believe that he could
But do you
frustrate.
think, before we move on from Bivol not being able to hurt him, do you think he didn't want to hurt him? I mean, many feel like he was doing the 1-2-1 to stay away from Canelo, didn't want to be in range of Canelo. He kept Canelo at the end of his punches. Some of those shots didn't really have that much steam on him. I mean, look at Canelo's face. Did he sit down on his punches, I guess is the question I'm asking. Do you feel like Bivol actually sat on his punches, or he came in there to box?
No, he came into box the same way Crawford has to fight. Anyone who wants to sit down with Canelo is not going to win that battle because Canelo, in my opinion, I think in the sport today, he is the best counterpuncher.
Mm.
He's extremely, extremely amazing counter punch, and you don't see it. And the thing with with Canelo that people don't give him enough credit. Canelo could box. Canelo's a really good defensive fighter. Canelo has a really sneaky, fast jab. These are the things that I think that Crawford's never faced a counter puncher like Canelo, that kind of power. And we've seen Crawford been hurt already 3 times. He got hurt with Gamboa. He got hurt, I think, with the machine. With the machine, one could have been a knockdown, and they called it a slip. I saw him get bust twice, and that's nowhere near Canelo's kind of power. So he saw what happened with Balanga when he tried to stay there, and Canelo just counter punched and dropped him, with a hook. So he can't do that. If he stays there, it will be a short fight. 100%. He has to move. He has to use his footwork and keep him at the end of the punch. So for that reason itself, I don't think he's going to be able to hurt Canelo. On top of the heat, I don't think he has that kind of power because he's not a one punch kind of power. He's a fighter that hurts you with accumulation of power. One punch kind of power like Tyson had, like Davis have, Crawford doesn't have. He stops you with accumulation of punches. I'm not even going to think about whether Crawford could stop him. That's like out the question for me. The question is for 12 rounds could Crawford maintain the same spot um with with uh with Canelo with that kind of pressure? Because if you look at Caleb Plant had a really good game plan for the first 6 rounds, which he's a way bigger person than Crawford, 6'1". He had every bit of 180 plus pounds. You and I know Crawford's not gonna he's not gonna enter the ring no heavier than 100 and maybe, I don't know, let's say about 175, and I think that's just too much weight for him to carry. People get confused when people say, "Oh, he's as big as Canelo." No, he's not. Walkway is two different things to fight weight. He's never fought so big, ever. I guarantee you, when he fought at 54, I bet you he was maybe about 166 pounds, if that, if
Mm.
that. So that plays a big part. So now you got a fighter that knows he has to be heavier in the weight at that day particular to be able to withstand more power from a bigger guy. Will he be able to withstand 12 rounds on a regular movement, side to side, side to side? No, I don't think he is. So this is the way I got the fight. I got the first 6 rounds towards Crawford because of his jab and his footwork. But from the 6 to the 12, I think that's when Canelo, could cause the damage. So for me, it's a 50-50. But if I'm a betting man, I'm gonna bet with Canelo in the deeper rounds.
When you say damage, what do you mean? Because Canelo hasn't stopped anybody since Plant, while he has knocked everybody down since then.
Well, if you look, let's be honest. He let Balanga live. I think he could have stopped Balanga. The other young Mexican, what's his name? The one he fought before Balanga,
Jaime
undefeated.
Munguia.
Monguia, he let him live. I mean, Canelo. If Canelo really wanted to, step on the gas like he did with Plant, I think he would have stopped both of those two guys. That's my opinion. I could be wrong, but I mean, I'm just telling you what I've seen in Canelo through the years. I just think that when he puts the kind of pressure, when he starts touching, because he is going to touch. People acting like he's not going to touch Crawford. No, he is going to touch him. He's going to touch shoulders. He's going to touch anything he can
But he didn't really
because he
touch
understands.
Skull.
Like,
Like he barely
let's be,
landed on Skull. I don't even know how he got that win. Like he barely landed.
let's be honest. Who fights? Not who has that kind of speed on footwork. Who's going to run? The last person I ever saw do that, Hector Camacho.
Mm.
That kind of speed with that kind of speed that Skull had. All he was doing was just running. He came in with one intention, just to survive and just and just make complete 12 rounds and get a check. He was not there to fight. Crawford doesn't have that kind of speed to move and that in those kind of ways to run. Pretty much all Skull did was run. Let's be honest. So it's hard. As a trainer, I'm telling you right now, it's hard to be able to cut the ring when you got somebody that all he's doing is just running all over in circles, right and left. Yeah, I mean, so after a while, it's like, okay, what could you do? I can't touch this guy. I mean, Camacho used to do to everybody. He used to frustrate fighters because they couldn't touch him. The only thing Hector Camacho offensively was more active than Score was. Again, why Score then stated to try to exchange change or take chances because he knew that Canelo's a great counterpunch, and all it takes is one shot from Canelo, and the fight changes.
Yeah, that's what we're actually discussing. Skull saying that he gives Canelo a 75% chance to win just because of the size.
The size plays a big part. Canelo's been fighting 68. I mean, super middleweight for the last what 4 years, 5 years, and then he went to heavyweight. I mean, and so he's used to being big. So a lot of another thing that a lot of people criticize him, and I don't understand why. Oh, he's flat-footed. He could dance circles around him. He's a flat-footed fighter who has an incredible timing. So that is part of his game plan. As he got older, he understood I don't have 25-year-old legs anymore. So I'm gonna settle down and I'm just gonna work on my defense and counter right off my defense, which he does extremely, extremely well. You know what I mean?
Coach,
So
I
yes.
thought you was driving. You know you got the camera faced the wrong way. I
Do
thought
I,
you had it
I
faced the wrong way because you was driving.
I
Um,
apologize.
nah, no worries. So there are people that are picking Crawford by knockout. Where would you
That's
put him in the history books? Like it would it like should we say he beat Canelo better than Floyd if he can knock him out, regardless of how many years later it is?
He's not knocking Canelo out. If I have to, I'm like I said, I'm not a betting man, but if I'm a bet, I could bet my house. He's not knocking Canelo out. And I really sometimes it bugs it just it fat I don't know, it bugs me out how people want to compare 23-year-old Canelo when he fought a 38-year-old Mayweather, pound for pound best fighter in the world at that particular time. Two different styles, 12 years. You don't think you learn? It's been over a decade. And no disrespect to Crawford. Crawford doesn't have Mayweather's footwork. He doesn't have that kind of footwork. If you look at Crawford has footwork where he's in front of you, but he's using his little angles. Because he understands that he has a 74-inch reach to be able to capitalize on any little single movement that you do. But I love the fact it shows you how focused Canelo is. He broke boots. You cannot get no better work than boots and compared to Crawford. There's nobody that could really imitate Canelo style. Now, when it comes to Crawford, you got Boots. They're almost like identical fighters, same
Damn,
height.
identical. You think you showing Philly bias? Because you know that Bomac and Buzz said, like, even his sister, like, Letitia Crawford, they saying, like, Jerron is not Crawford.
I don't understand why. Okay, so same height, same build, same reach. If we're gonna go power through record, Boots has more knockouts. So according to the record, Boots could crack more. True or false?
Uh,
So
I mean,
oh, oh,
according to the numbers on paper, yeah, but
exactly.
according to the actual fights, it's Crawford that's cracking more.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the record, what is Boots right now? 32, I think, 33.
Yeah,
You
something like
know,
that.
yeah, and like 20 by knockout. Crawford's like what, 41, and like what's Crawford's record? I
31
don't
and
even remember.
41.
Okay, 41 and 30. So you got 10. So I don't know. I just Boots. Listen, Boots is a very, very talented fighter. Unfortunately, people don't give him enough credit because they haven't fought the bigger names yet. But I just think that overall, bringing that kind of sparring, I think Canelo already has the upper hand because Booth has great footwork, great defense. He's a good counterpuncher himself. Younger, Crawford's 37, Booth is 28, I believe, 27, 28. Great speed. So if someone has the upper hand because of the sparring, I'm gonna have to lean more towards Canelo because when it comes to Crawford, who could they bring to camp that imitates Canelo very well? Nobody.
But what about people that say sparring is sparring? Even trainers say, "Oh, sparring is sparring." It
Oh
don't
no,
matter. I
I
mean,
agree 100%.
Coach Angel Garcia would say that he doesn't bring in top guys to spar Danny because people want to make a name off him. You know, you got to make the champ feel good in camp, he says.
Well, I every coach has their own method way of training.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I like working with my guys the opposite. I save the easy work for the end when we cut in weight, when I don't have to worry about someone trying to make a name out of my fighter, and my fighter cannot respond because he's cutting weight. So I don't work that way. For me, it's like I like tough work. I go wherever I got to go: New York, Philly, North Jersey. If I'm in Florida, I go to Miami. I go wherever I have to go to get that good work because that's what's gonna help my fighter. And then I just slow the sparring down. But I know a lot of people, yeah, they like easy work. I know a lot of fighters from DZ. That's what all they do. They get easy work. But when they got a tough fight, let's go to Broner. I know Broner's camp through all the years. Never really, really, really had tough. When he fought Chino Madonna, he didn't know how to react to that kind of style because he never faced that kind of style. If you face this kind of style when you spar, so you know what to do in a situation like that. If you ever get to fight somebody like that, so I like me personally. I fight my guys where spar my guys where it's tough work. I want to go to a gym where one of my guys get banged up. Why? Because it shows that there's still so much more to learn. Oh, you got the best out of my guys this Saturday. Okay, I'm gonna see you next Saturday. The next Saturday, okay, well, you know what, you still got the best out of my guy, but not as much as you did the first time. I see you the third week. I see you the following Saturday. Now the third week, okay, now the sparring's equal. I see you the following Saturday. By the fourth week, my fighter's digging on your fighter. Okay, I did my job. My fighter, what I do mentally, I build his confidence to understand that you already above that kind of level. And it shows a lot of
Coach,
my fighter.
is your phone dying? You're starting to break up, and I know you're not moving, so it got to be the battery.
Uh, I'm at the high school waiting for my grandson, so maybe it's a bad reception.
Hey, well, that's fine then, because it looks like it's dying, but that was more than enough. We appreciate you giving your prediction, man. Hope you enjoy the upcoming fight, and good luck on the upcoming fight with your fighter.
Thank you. Yes, I appreciate you.
All right. Yeah, it looks like his phone is dying. We're starting to lose him. It was very choppy at the end.